Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And welcome to Forgotten Cinema Now Showing. Each episode, we highlight a film, a brand new release, We'll discuss what we love about the movie or perhaps don't love about it. But don't take our word for it. Go see the movie for yourself. And this time, just go flip on Netflix if you have it, because we did a streamer this week. We did Netflix. Mike, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I just got to go get the rip. I just gotta get that rip. This rip was brought to me by my dead boss. It was the last thing she sent to me. She said there was a whole lot of money in a stash house. And so I'm pretty sure she was killed by some dirty cops. And I got to figure out who killed my friend and boss of my TNT team, which go out there and they steal money.
Just TNT.
Just TNT. Not TNT team. That's right. TNT. And to see who's been betraying us. And I'm gonna give them all different numbers about a fake phony call to the stash house, and I'm gonna see who the traitor is. Me and my buddy Ben. We're gonna go in there.
I don't think his name's Ben in this.
Don't matter. Doesn't matter. And we're gonna see JD. That's right. And we're gonna see who stole the money. We're gonna maybe work with some cartels, maybe shoot up some people, maybe shoot up some of our own team, and have an action-packed thriller of a Netflix time.
If as one does. Yes, that's right. We are doing The Rip. This was I think maybe a couple episodes ago. I'm not before this, probably in December. I know I say a couple episodes ago because I'm thinking of when it's out, but we obviously record 10 weeks in advance, right? And we were building our buffer. So I would say 2 months ago, we were like, is this The Rip or is this RIP? Which makes it sound stupid when you go back and listen to me ask that question, because clearly it's not. So this one was written and directed by Joe Carnahan. So I think for those who are Carnahan fans, you probably expect some level of action, because that's usually the kind of stuff he puts together. Very stylized, which I can appreciate, especially it takes place in Miami or Hialeah, that part of or whatever. I want to say that whole neighborhood must have been I would suspect a studio lot, but I could be wrong.
Looked a lot. Yeah.
I didn't really look into that, but I probably, this is a movie podcast and maybe, I should actually do some research. But anyways, so the now showings are a little different for those who don't know. If you listen to the main show or the lead up series, you know that we kind of run through the gamut of who's in it, what it did the box office. But clearly, since it's now showing, this is more of a discussion of the movie that we just saw. I watched this film on Martin Luther King Day on Monday. So yesterday, I watched it yesterday afternoon. I think Butler watched it over the weekend, a Saturday night, I suspect, during the snow that we had up here.
It was Saturday night or Sunday night, one of the two. We had a 3-day weekend, so like you said.
So and it's kind of nice to do a now showing for that's streaming, because we can stay home and relax. Although we both love cinema, and we both love theater, and we both love physical media, but we also both love being lazy. So,
God, I love being lazy.
That is the bane of our existence. Okay, Mike, let's, where do you want to kick off? Where do you want to start? How about anticipation? Let's talk about that. Maybe let's talk about your expectation and what you anticipated with this film going in, what you were looking for. And then maybe we'll just go to if that kind of paid off.
So I had some expectation of this movie. You and I are big Ben Affleck fans.
Yep.
As we talk about on the podcast a lot, we just, after we did Reindeer Games, we talked about how we've done 8,000 Ben Affleck movies. Yep. We actually did 2 last season, and we have another one this season coming up.
We do another one? We're doing another one?
Well, because Changing Lanes hasn't come out yet for people.
Oh, right, yeah. I thought I was in my head again.
Oh, no. We don't have another one planned so far.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Matt Damon fan as well. I'm pretty sure you are. I think we both like how they came up in the business, and both you and I have been following their careers the whole time. It's cool that they're buddy. It's cool to see them together in films. I'm a huge Dogma fan, and so I loved when they were together there. And it's interesting to okay, I want to watch this movie. It's artist equity. So it's their production company doing it.
It's their first film.
Their what?
Their fourth
Their
film
fifth?
together.
Oh, their fourth film. Yep.
Well, from what I saw was they did oh my god, they did The Instigators, which is the one that was on Apple, right, with Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. Before that, they did Air, then The Accountant 2.
Under the Air, yep.
And then this one. So I think this is their fourth one.
Okay. So I was kind of excited for this movie, but it's a Netflix film. Yeah. And as you know, if you've watched this podcast, Mikey B ain't such a fan of the Netflix films because they're, you know how everyone says, especially Ben Affleck just said, it's interesting that AI it finds the mean, the basic average of everything. And that's how AI works. And that is how Netflix works. The average to below average in terms of especially their films. So as I was excited about it, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Joe Carnahan cop movie, which I think I've told we haven't gotten enough cop movies lately. I always say, and
well, they're not exactly.
So
I don't. You mean like
they're not prolific anymore?
Hero cop movies or just cop movies?
Like hero cop movies, like this, like. Probably it's completely different, but like Lethal Weapon, even like a Training Day kind of a thing where it's like a big cop movie, not necessarily like crazy action, but just a bigger cop movie. So I was excited, and also my expectations were low. I don't know what it was your level going into this.
Sorry. I think I was expecting some action. Obviously, Joe Carnahan. I was expecting to see some stylized stuff. So I was expecting some good gunplay. On the whole, I like Carnahan stuff. There's some stuff doesn't hit, but that's fine. That's just whatever I like. I mean, I love The Gray. I think The Gray is fantastic. I know I think the last one that I saw of his, I don't know if it was the Grillo film from, I know I've seen it was Stretch. He did Stretch and we like Stretch. The Grillo one, he's done a couple of Grillo ones that are not good that I was not a fan of. I think he did
Final Boss
Level, the boss level. Yeah. And I know our friends in the Pint just did that movie because I was listening to that episode, and I know they love that. I remember liking some of it, but I don't know if I loved it. But it's another time loop film, which, you know what? I'll talk to you later off camera about that because I had an idea about the time loop films for you. Anyways, so I was interested in, and I'm a fan of the actor, so I was like, okay, we're gonna get something that's going to be decent. Yeah, so I wouldn't say I was down on it going in. I was definitely interested. I definitely wanted to see it. I kept saying like, oh, I'm gonna watch it Friday night after we recorded. I didn't get to it. I was going to watch Saturday night, Sunday night. And that was because I just didn't want to fall asleep. I knew I would watch it the whole way through. I didn't want to stay up late, so I didn't want to get to bed at 1:30. So, because I'm old. And so I wanted to, I just wanted to be able to sit down and watch it. That's kind of why I pushed it off a little bit. Although I still watched, what's funny is that I still watched movies that night. Like I didn't watch it, but then I watched the Ethan Hawke movie Blue Moon, which was awesome, which I liked him in quite a bit. But like I didn't watch this. So I like, what's my problem? Like it makes no sense. But anyways, back to the rip. I was definitely looking forward to it. I don't think I was down like you are. So I guess, did it lead up to your expectations or did it lead up to my expectations? That's like probably the biggest question. What'd you think?
I think it led to my expectations. It's Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are great in the movie, but the movie is not very good. It's not very well written. It's got really just kind of trash dialogue, and I don't know if I can put that at Carnahan and the other writer's feet. His name is I don't want to look at my phone right now. But I know that
Mike McGrail did the story.
Okay, Mike McGrail. Like I know they both wrote it, but I know that Matt Damon has already complained how Netflix wants you to reiterate the plot like 5 or 6 times in the movie. He said in interviews because, people are on their phones. They want to play to that crowd. You don't play to the lowest common denominator in a crowd. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. And that is what this movie does. I'm like, we all day, because I sometimes work at your job doing freelance stuff. And we were together today and just, got to get that rip, got to get that rip, got to get that money, got to get that rip, got to get that rip, got to get that rip. It's over and over and over and over. And it's got to be 50% of this fucking script. And it's driving me mad. I just, the dialogue is so bad. And but there are also parts in this movie, like I talked about the cop scene where the street cops come in, and all of a sudden you're like, aren't you those cops from that one incident in Cantalina? Can't trust those Cantalina cops.
Yeah.
The two cops are like, watch your mouth, and they turn off their sirens. They back up ominously out of the street where no one else is in, because conveniently the cartel has bought up the entire street that we're on, so you don't have to pay extras. And they just watch them for 5 minutes with all their lights and their headlights off. It's like, oh yeah, I wonder who the bad guys are. I wonder who the bad guys are. It's just you are curious, I will say, who the person who betrays them is for a little bit. And then they just make it so obvious that it's what's his name? Mike is the character's name.
Oh, Stephen Yeun. The actor.
Yeah, Mike. Yeun, yeah. Mike Rowe.
Rowe.
Yeah. It's so obviously Mike Rowe. About I don't know, 50% in maybe, and just come on. All right, so they're not really. It's this fight is fake. This is clearly not all this stuff that they're like. Oh, we're gonna split this take. Like, I'm just waiting for that shoe to drop. And I think it could have been done a lot better. But at least before that, I was curious to see who was going to be the person, how they were going to get out of this. You know, I'm still digging the action and digging kind of like, I guess, the machismo, like bro off fight between like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are good. The movie is filmed slick, and like you said, it's got a lot of those colored lights throughout the street and stuff like that. The gunfight is cool. But yeah, it's just another Netflix film where it's just, they're never very good. They're just always, as you know, they're that $10 bin you used to see in like Walmart, where it's like the DVDs are just piled to the ton. You have to shift through them. Like none of them are on those end caps or on those aisles of like the slick DVDs. They're always in that. This is like the soft shelled cased $10 DVD.
So there are some Netflix films that are good. I will say that, like Extraction and Extraction 2. If you like John Wick, you would like those.
I do still want to watch Extraction for the action.
The Pale Blue Eye is a good film, the Christian Bale film. So there are good Netflix films out there. That being said, but the comments that Damon was saying in the press junket for this about how Netflix asks you to reiterate the plot and all that stuff, that is a little troubling, because if you're following that, if you're kind of like focused on that, then you are, you know, you're doing things in the movie for the wrong reason. I understand what Netflix is trying to say, because that's not, you can't really blame. I can't blame a company for trying to create a piece of film content, for example, this piece of content, because they didn't make smartphones. Like, so these devices that they're on are not Netflix's fault. They're just trying to make sure that they create something that's going to make an impression on somebody who's like this. You know, like, I'll watch a movie with my wife, and I'll look over and she's on her phone and go, "What are you doing? What are you scrolling for? Pay attention." Like, I get a little upset, but, and I purposely, and you know, what's funny is I heard that comment by Damon in the junket, and I put my phone away. I took my phone and I put it away from it. I will not pick it up.
No second screening for Mike Field.
Exactly. Not here. So yeah, because my second screening is like, who is that actor? What are they in? Oh, what is this movie? What is their movie? Yeah. Like, that's why I'm doing it. I'm not like, what's Instagram? What's going on here? Like, no, you know, if I'm doing that during a movie, I'm turning the movie off because the movie's not good. But I'm always trying to figure out, who is that person? So that's what I'm doing there. So I apologize to everyone while I'm watching that. But that being said, the one thing that stood out with me for this film, and specifically the scene in the beginning when they're doing the interrogations with the FBI or the conversations, that scene, the scene when they are at the end, when they bring the truck to the FBI and the FBI is there and his brother's there and the other guy's there. And then I guess technically the neighborhood and that stuff, and the firefight, the gunfight, the first gunfight at the house, is the lack of background people that are in this film. Like, there's nobody in this movie but these main people. The only time you get background extras are in the scene when they're outside and you first meet the DEA agent played by Kyle Chandler.
Right. Kyle Chandler. Yep.
Yep. His character, Maddie Nix or Maddie. You get those other people that are sitting around, and then you don't get anybody else. You just get the people that are the main players or the supporting players. And it felt like I was watching a film shot during the pandemic you know what I mean? So like when you watch some of those films that are shot during the pandemic, you kind of give those, okay, I get it. You couldn't really have everyone on set. So you kind of had to do this kind of thing. And the film does take place, like you said, 75% in the house. So, yeah, it was really a little bit, that kind of caught my eye. And I was just like, this feels like not a real film. This feels not, I shouldn't say that. It just feels like I'm not watching something fully formed. I don't know if you caught that at all.
Oh, I think that you already said what the issue with this film is. And I know you said there are some good Netflix films, but most Netflix films or streamer films in general, although I will say Apple films, I think you and I have both said before, Apple films seem to be a step above, at least for now, is content. Mm-hmm. They're making content. They don't care about art. Yeah. They don't care about cinema. They don't care about film. They care about content and getting content on the platform. When they buy Warner Brothers, it's not about movies. It's about those IPs and content. And I think that's why. I think that they wanted to spend as little as possible. I think part of that might also be because of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's deal, about how, you know, the cast and crew, not just the mains, get a chunk of the bonus.
1,200. Yeah. 1,200 production crew get bonus if they meet certain metrics, certain markers, which I don't know what they are, but I would assume they met them if they are the second highest weekend views since Happy Gilmore 2. So I would imagine
41.2 million. So that's pretty good.
Imagine that they've met that metric.
So I think that has something to do with it. And like we said before earlier, off air, that's the whole street being like bought up by the cartel, I think is just very much like written in, baked in, not because that's what they wanted, but because it's easier to just not have extras and not have to deal with that.
I find that plot point fascinating. Like I was actually very interested.
So do I. If it was a cul-de-sac, yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely buy that in Miami, in South LA, or maybe even in some parts of rural Texas. I would absolutely believe that to be true.
Like, but case in point, we're talking about. So basically, what Mike is talking about for those who maybe saw the movie, didn't remember because we do spoil the film. You know, they come in, they go to they pull up right to this house that they're gonna the house that they've got the tip on, not hiding who they are because they pull right up to it, and nobody comes out of the house, and it gets to night, and they realize that, and then all the lights suddenly just pop on automatically. They've not seen any neighbors except one house is flashing a light that's saying that's Morse code for pigs. Who is he sending Morse code to?
I was curious about that before, but I think that's that one cartel guy. And he's saying pigs to get the cops' attention to get there, to give them the message from the cartel leader who's just like, take the money. You know, a loss is a loss. You found our stash house. You win this round. That's the game of chess.
Yeah, they make the comment like, you know, one police chief is bad for business, 5 would put them out of business, which I think was very interesting because and it is like these days. Yeah, if it would be really fascinating to a deep dive into the cartels, how they're portrayed in film and cinema, because I think that's also how they're you know, how they have evolved throughout their life, where it is a business. It's a drug business, obviously, but they operate like a business. So that's very fascinating. And I was kind of interested in that. Like, oh, wow. Like when they kind of had the flashback and you kind of saw the, I guess the lookout who was, you know, put in touch with the cartel. I thought we were going to go with, we got to team up with the cartel to fight these dirty cops. Okay, who are they going to be? But the problem is like when I go back to what you talk about with Netflix and the content and all that stuff and where you're going to save money, I guess, is like when you have a gunfight and a firefight with nobody, I can't see the other people with barely, and they're running around like that's not exciting to me. I want to see like a street full of like 35 dirty cops just coming after you, and you got to defend yourself with just you and like a couple of cartel guys like on the same side. Yeah. But you don't get that. Yeah, you don't get that.
No, you don't. It's dark. You barely get to see anything. I still remember, and I know I named the movie wrong, and I know it's the correct movie is back on our list. Deep Dark Blue or whatever, the Kurt Russell movie that takes place around the Rodney King.
That's Dark Blue, I think.
Dark Blue, yeah. I remember there's a scene where there's like a chase and they're going through people's houses and they're going through the street and there's people in their backyards, in the houses and all that kind of stuff. And like it brings an air of believability to these things. Even The Shield, which I used to watch, which was the early 2000s, constantly they would go through the street and there would be, dozens and dozens of extras. And this was a TV show on FX before FX really even blew up. And it's just like, why isn't this supposed huge movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon giving us extras, giving us that lived in real world feel? And it's the same thing with you said about the police station, especially. Where is everybody? They're a small crew. There should be other people in the police station with them. Yeah.
And they're in the police station. They're inside. It's dark. So it's the inside's dark and it makes me, okay, wow, this is night. And then they leave and it's the afternoon. And it's like, it's bright as day. It didn't fit. It didn't feel, it just didn't fit. And it kind of put me back a little bit. I kind of wish they stayed at the house the whole time. If you're going to put yourself in the house for a majority of the movie, finish it at the house. You know what I mean? Like to that point, the gunplay was nice and the action was nice in the van, in the tank and in the truck. And that was all great, but just stay in the house. Just stay in the house.
Did it feel a little too overblown for you? Because it did for me a little bit. The tank versus truck thing, yeah. When Ron Livingston takes the armored truck and Ben's shooting at it with one hand, barely looking where he's shooting.
Yeah.
It just seemed like you really wanted an explosive ending. Where would you have also, like, I would have preferred a fight in the house as it's burning down.
Sure. But also, can you give the other two, your other two cops, female cops, can you give them something to do other than count money?
Nah, they're chicks, man. You can't do that. Come on.
Let's talk about
it's not good looks.
Hey, let's do this. And number one, hey, let's do this. Okay, count all the money. Count it by hand. I'm sorry, you can't get cash counters. Like I mean, like those are like $20, $30. We had them at the theater. They work. They're legit. I don't understand why. Like you bring everything else. You bring all tactical. You got a dog. The dog's got a vest. You've got all this stuff. You couldn't just have 4 cash counters in your car. Boom. Let's go. I mean, this is your job. You pull rips. Let's go. Like I didn't get that. So, and then you kind of purposely do things within the movie to cast suspicion on everybody. And like I knew Matt, and when Damon's character Dane is on the phone and he's walking up, I knew that phone call was fake. Like that was fake. Oh, you heard that? You heard what I wanted you to hear. It's like, yeah, no kidding. We all did. We all knew it was bogus. It was the worst like acting job. Like it was just bad.
That felt like a bad Guy Ritchie kind of moment. Like, let's try to Guy Ritchie him. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're not Guy Ritchie.
Right. See, and I said this before, and I've said this multiple times with you on air, off air. I've said it with my friend. We talk in terms of like what we're talking about here with Netflix and content and all that stuff. It's not a case of bad films. It's a case of mediocre. It is an epidemic of mediocre storytelling. And it's awful. It's awful because it's not awful. It's just, to coin a phrase from the young folks, meh. And like, that's not good. Like I want to see something that's great, or if it's something that's just horrible, that's fine. But I can appreciate something horrible because they go for something and it's just terrible. But when something is mediocre, you're just kind of like desensitized to like, and there's so much of it. There's so many channels and so many outlets for people to tell stories. And the fact is that we are pulling in the most mediocre style storytelling because it's easy to do, because it's cheap to do, and because you just don't want to lose money, because you know that if you hype the crap out of it, you can make a little buck off of it, because you have executives and you have studio heads who are not movie people, who are not storytellers, who are not film people. I'm on the soapbox now. I apologize, but it's just so it's so infuriating that we have to be subjected to this mediocre style of storytelling. And this film, I would say, if this is where mediocre is, it's just slightly above it, because there is some stuff I'm cool with. Here's my thing with this film, Mike. Is it great? No. Is it Carnahan's best? No. But it's better than some of the other stuff out there. Like, and there's some decent things in the movie.
But I think that's because you have Carnahan, whose films we kind of like.
You have talent.
You have talent. You have Affleck and Damon, and they're doing a really good job with what they have.
Them on their own, they're great. The problem is that there's nothing else for anyone else to do in the movie.
Yeah. And some of the lines are awful. And I think the word you're looking for is not mad. That's more my generation's word. You're looking for mid. It's mid.
You're mid. Oh, wait.
That's the young generation.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever.
But you're right. I think that's my main problem with Netflix is it's the Rango conundrum.
Ooh.
There's no, I can't think of a movie I've seen on Netflix that I've hated, but I don't think there's any real movie. And I still have to watch Extraction. I do want to watch Chris Hemsworth beat the crap out of people.
It's basically it's John Wick, but it's John Wick with somebody who has military training.
Sure. But that aside, I don't think I've ever seen anything on Netflix I hated, but I'm pretty sure everything on Netflix I thought was so meh that it's just like I like you and Rango. I think I hate that more. I'd rather be furious at a movie than keep watching these movies that are supposed to be the future of movies that I'm just like, why does this exist? And it's for content's sake. And I'm just, if this is what's going to be the best of the best, then like, it's sad for movies.
And listen, to be fair, it's not just Netflix. We're just saying Netflix because we watched a movie on Netflix. Yeah, it's every streamer out there. Like there are shows, not movies, because Peacock usually does just shows. There are I can name you 10 shows and you'd be like, I've never heard of these, and they're on Peacock and nobody watches them. Like, like that's the thing. Like, it's not just that, it's Hulu. It's what it is too, Mike, is also it's movies that back in the day, if they were like, they did these movies and they're like, wow, this is not going to go. They would go straight to video, straight to DVD, and you wouldn't hear from them again. You'd be like, oh crap, I didn't know they made this movie. Let me go pick this up. But now they are straight to streamer. And the problem is that you can't hide that half the time, because that when they get a good new movie and straight to streamer, it's like, hey, new movie coming out. You're like, oh wow, this just came out. Let me watch this. And then you're like, oh, that's not good at all. When you could have just went away and went to video. So there needs to be a contraction. There is a contraction of content going on. Content, unfortunately, like it's still content, and it's not film. It's not storytelling. It's just something vastly different. And I think I come off as a get off my lawn type of person. But like, I want to see good stuff. I'm tired of seeing this blah. And we don't wish this is like, this whole episode is turning into just a streamer episode. Let's talk about the movie. Let's just talk about the rip in and of itself. Tell me something that you liked in the movie quite a bit that you didn't think you would like. How about that?
That I liked quite a bit.
Well, I don't know. Did you like anything? Just Matt Damon and Ben Affleck
I like Affleck and Damon. I like the look of the film, Carnahan style. I think, the cartel stuff is interesting, but they don't really get into it. I think one thing I liked in the film is, which as the movie went kind of grew on me, is Sasha Cale or Kale. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. My bad. Her character Desi. Yeah. I like Desi. I thought she was a very interesting character. She wasn't really like, you didn't really feel crazy bad for her because you didn't really know. Kind of like the cops, where she was in this whole I have money in my house, and you learned as the film went on. I thought she was very well done as someone who you don't feel immediately bad for. She's not the damsel in distress. Woe is me. You don't trust her. You learn more about her as the film goes on. Her reactions I felt were real and honest, and she was more living in the moment, which I think someone in that situation would do and would be like. So I thought she did a really good job.
I felt like she was really she was like super friendly with Ro, with the Stephen Yeun character. And I was like, wait, do they know each other? Because she kept was like, you seem like I can trust you. You seem like I was like, do they? Because because you first find out when Mike's like taking out his burner phone, he's texting people immediately. You're like, okay, he's not good. He's lied. Yeah. He's hiding something.
There's no way he's the good guy texting the troops. Right. Yeah, that early.
I don't know why we're pretending that he might be a decent person. So like immediately we don't believe him. So there was something there that when she was speaking with him, like I thought maybe they're trying to connect something.
I think it's because he was the first one to kind of speak up against what was going on. Both I don't remember people's names. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's characters.
Dane
They are
and JD.
Dane and JD are they were so combative. And yes, JD was questioning Dane and Dane was yelling back at JD, but they weren't really like super trustworthy because of how combative they were. Mike was the only guy going, "Hey guys, what's going on?" Like questioning it. So I think that's why she maybe was like, "Hey, you're the only calm person questioning things here.
Yeah.
I think I can trust you."
Mm-hmm.
And the other ladies, they were just kind of telling her to shut up. So it was kind of like
they were counting. They were too busy counting for no reason.
Yeah, he was the only one that she could really go to. Desi could go to.
Let me ask you this about the ending. Do you like that? Did you expect the typical ending where they would kind of take some for themselves, like when they were doing the final count at the FBI headquarters and all that stuff? Were you expecting that?
I was waiting for it. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be like that, but I was expecting it. I almost got really mad when it ended with the two lady cops leaving with the dog and the bags in their station wagon. And I was like, oh, was the whole plan to take the rip anyway? Like, come on. No. I was like, don't do that kind of ending. Don't do that to me. Right. And they didn't, which is good.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
So yeah.
I thought that was a good ending.
But so in that way, it did keep you on your toes. Because I think that the whole movie, regardless of who was bad or not, my question was, is anybody going to take some money, or is it going to end up that they give the whole rip back? That was a question.
Right. Now, what about the angle of Dane, or Matt Damon's character, his son who passed away from cancer? He's got the tattoos on his hands, like what they say. Like, that obviously shades how he is at the end of the movie, like how he ends up they bring in the money because of with the tattoos and all that stuff. That story. Do you like that aspect of his character?
Yeah. I do know that was also based on the true character that Matt Damon's portraying, Dane's portraying. That real police officer's son did die of cancer. And I think that line is said by someone else and something else. But I do like that. And I like that it gives him, because there are movies like this where bad cops are pushed to be bad cops because of traumatic events that have happened in their lives that push them to do that.
But also they talk about, like, they have financial issues. There's
exactly the debt and all that.
Yeah,
we look at
even
not paid
enough.
And the traumatic events push people to do, like we look at. Well, we didn't do it for the show, but we watched it the way back, which I loved that movie. I thought it was a great movie. Again, Ben Affleck. But we're like the traumatic event of his son's death and all that is what caused him to kind of fall back into alcoholism and stuff like that. And like it just like these events can push people to do things they normally wouldn't. So I do like that angle. I thought that was a really good angle that made you kind of go,
well, not even like major life events too, Mike, but like, spending 15 years busting up people that just, get off easy or something like that. And then you
getting shot at.
Yeah. It's
the CIs get 20% of the cut. You get nothing.
It's not a hard line to cross when you just see 20K of cash in there. Like, no one's going to miss this. They're not even going to know it's there. Like, it's not a hard line to, I know, I'm saying like for like small time stuff. It's not.
No, I got you. Yeah.
It's not hard to cross that line for some people. So it's very easy. And I think that's a very real temptation.
Sure.
I mean, thank God I'm not a cop, because I don't know, man. I'm just not a good person. I'm joking. Or am I? So you generally are just down on this film. You'll never watch it again. You won't suggest it to anybody. I got a couple of people that reached out on, and you probably saw them on.
I saw one of them, and they had like your reaction. You're like, it's fine. And they're like, so a Netflix film then. Pretty much. That's everybody's expert. I don't think we're saying anything that everybody else doesn't know.
That's pretty sad though. If that's your rep, that people like, that's pretty sad. But
that's why they have to be the only game in town. Where are you going?
But that's being said amongst people like us. That's being said probably people in conversation. But like that's not what people see. What people see when you look on social, when you're on X or Facebook and Instagram, you've got people that are being paid to tell you how great everything is and how it's awesome. And it's, you know what I mean? So yeah. So there is
exactly.
That's true in life. There is a huge disconnect with what's on social and what's in real life. Butler, if we didn't have this podcast and we weren't like, we're trying to build our community, I probably would not be online that much anymore. Like I would just be texting you being like, hey, I just saw this movie. Like that's how it would be. Like but hey, this is the nature of the beast of podcasting. We have to be out there and kind of pump our game.
But hey, for all you listeners out there, we're telling you the truth. We're telling it like it is.
Well, we're telling you how we feel.
Exactly. Netflix sponsorships be damned. But Netflix, if you did sponsor us, my opinion would suddenly change. You would suddenly have some amazing content.
Oh, stop it. I think we'd be fair. I mean, like,
I think we'd be fair.
We'd be fair, but I think we wouldn't be. I mean, and I'm not I don't think we've said anything on this show that's trashed anything that's going on. I mean, we get the reality. I mean, this is the reality of making movies in 2026. This is it. Yeah. This is what we are, where we are right now. And it could change. And if it changes, that's great. But it's not like it is from 1996 and 2006. It's all changed. It's this. We'll see what happens in a couple of years, but like right now, this is the reality situation: is that you have just people making content and just people making it so that they can get, people to grab the remote and go to Netflix instead of Hulu and go to Peacock instead of Apple. Like, this is what they do.
Turn on Netflix while you're scrolling on your phone.
Yeah, just have it on, let it run, and let it run. And while you're just doing whatever you need to be doing,
let it rip.
We should probably just end it right there now.
Would you recommend this to anybody?
Yeah. I mean, it's a Matt Damon, Ben Affleck film. It's a Joe Carnahan film. It's action. I would say the same thing. I said, it's fine, but you check it out. It's not wasting. It's worth your time. I mean, you probably have the same issues I have. Some people might love it. Some people might really kind of dig it. And that's great. It's got enough stuff going on where it keeps you interested. Yeah, I mean, I know that I'm jaded, and I know that, I know that I've seen so many things that, I can sniff out. I can't, the one thing I can't do that you do better than me is I can't sit there, and probably many people do better than me, and sit there in stories like this or in mysteries or spies and just figure out who it is. Like, I just can't. You know what I mean? I don't think, but I don't, because I don't sit there thinking of that when I'm watching the movie. I'm just watching the film because it's not really, to me, I'm not trying to solve it. I'm just watching it. So I'm never in that mind space of, okay, who it is. I just don't, maybe because I'm just trying to, if I'm focusing on that, I'm missing stuff in the movie. So maybe it's kind of like that. I'm just kind of letting the story. I'm not saying you're doing it wrong or I'm doing it wrong. That's just how I'm reacting to a movie like that. So I'm never, you know what I mean? Like, I was just always like, okay, so he's bad. Okay, so they're not good. They're not together. Okay. Oh wait, no, he's bad. Like, so it's just like that for me. I'm just not like, no, it's not him. It's gotta be Matty Nix. Like, but you know what I mean? Like,
but I think a movie like this should be judged by, how well you put that mystery together, how much that's interesting, and how much that surprises you. And I think that even for you, you were like, Mike's the bad guy. Like, immediately pulling out the bird foot, Mike's the bad guy. And I think that sucks. I think that you should be looking at your script and going, look at my script and being like, who's the bad guy? How quick can I tell that it's the bad guy? And I know you can get blind to that because it's your script. So,
right. But I'm
not telling anybody how to do it.
And I got you. But this type of film, that twist or that discovery is not really where the focus should be. It quite honestly should be sorry about the two characters, about the two leads, and just you want more there in terms of like, or whether the team, because there's some good moments where like when Ro and Dane are walking to the house that JD is at, and he's like, "You a snitch, Mike?" And like, and then
that's a really good moment.
It's really, because there's some tense moments, and then they have that shot where he goes in front of Mike, and you don't see Dane, so you're expecting him to be holding the gun right at his head. I go, that's like, those moments I think are good to have in like, and that's what I want to see, like that stuff, the character stuff, like the team. Are they really a team? Are they really against each other? Are these guys really best friends? Like the whole idea that they kind of floated in there that Dane was sleeping with JD's girlfriend, the police chief, like, that Maddie was saying
Ron
to him.
Livingston did, yeah,
right, like, oh right, no, Kyle Chandler, yeah,
Kyle Chandler, I'm saying the wrong guy.
That's okay. You got me worried now. Wait a minute, no, is it not Kyle Chandler? So all that stuff, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Is that really an angle? But like, so that's the kind of stuff that I'm leaning towards. Not like, who is it? who could it be? I mean, it's obviously Matty Nix because he's the only other star there. He's the third bill. That's like the Knives Out poster stuff where they talk about if you want to figure out who the bad guy is, it's not Daniel Craig and it's not the person that is his helper. It's always the next top billed star in the poster. So if you look at the poster, you can see it's the third billed person is always the bad guy. So in each film. So I thought that was interesting too. But like that's kind of like when the X-Files moved to LA, all of a sudden you started seeing all these like popular actors that you knew. And you're like, oh, well, they're going to be somebody. They're in this episode for a reason. So I got on a tangent again. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. It's late. Yeah. So, I mean, do you have anything else you want to rip on the rip?
No, I mean, we both talked about how it's kind of ridiculous where they hid the money in the attic.
Yeah.
Like the door didn't open. What was the point of that? Yeah, why is the attic clean?
Why is the only way I can get to the 20 million by having to smash through the wall? Why can't you just make a hidden door? It didn't make sense. I didn't understand that, but whatever. We don't know. We're not in that trade. So who knows?
Yeah. You asked me if I would recommend this to anybody and I kind of went on a tangent and trashing the movie again.
We've been on tangents all episode.
Yeah. I think I would recommend this movie to people. I think there's enough for you to like it. My issue is that from a Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie directed by Joe Carnahan, I really like the A-Team. We did the A-Team on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched The Gray, but a couple of people have
told
me
I haven't watched The Gray yet.
I don't know.
Gray's got a great ending.
So like I wanted more, but there is enough there that it's a fine watch on a Saturday, Friday night. If you're on the East Coast, it's about to snow and be minus 17 degrees. The Rip is a great watch. Watch a cop movie that takes place in Miami, where they're in the middle of the night with their short sleeve shirts,
or watch Fargo.
warm and comfortable. No, I don't watch anything cold. Screw the cold. I'm done with the cold. Now I'll never watch The Gray. I'll never watch The Gray.
That's a perfect film to watch this weekend, The Gray. Yes, absolutely. Oh, it's got a great ending. You should watch it. You really should watch it, but you probably got to pay for it, but it's probably not available. Although we have more secondhand lines this week. So we got to get on top of that.
There we go. Because our content train keeps on running.
We don't make content. We make short films and podcasts. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your shows. You're watching, listening to us right now. Rate, subscribe, comment. What did you think of The Rip? Are we wrong? Is Netflix the best? Why don't one of you Netflix bots please comment how we're wrong in the comment section below. We got tons of content. We've got a new episode for you every Wednesday. As soon as we get off of this, I'm finishing our edit for this Wednesday. We have our lead up series right now. We're in the middle of doing Screams. Our first Scream episode comes out in a day after this episode comes out. So go check that out. We're doing all the Screams leading up to Scream 7, which comes out at the end of February. Field has put out, a couple weeks ago, all of our content we have coming out for the next couple months. Go check that out.
I have? No,
through February. Oh, you didn't do a February?
Just did January. I told you I was doing month to month. I will do February, but I was just doing month to month. Yeah, we're
doing that. We're going to have a content release schedule for the next few months on our Patreon as well. So go check that out. If you want more content, our Patreon has our look back series, merch discounts, Patreon chat access, all that kind of good stuff. And for the low price of $3, for the price of a cup of coffee, a cup of Joe, you can watch our
watch Joe back in 1997.
No, $3 is about a cup of Joe at a regular place.
I don't think you've. Okay,
not those fancy coffee shops up where you live.
That's right, fancy. Where they sell big giant buckets and they.
I go to the Wawa.
There's no Wawas around here anymore.
No Wawa. They're all Krausers now around here.
Wawas are the shit, man.
I loved Wawa. Anyway. Great go check that out. Go check our Patreon. Go check out our lead ups, our now showings, our regular episodes. And that's all I got.
Yeah. So as Mike says, our next now showing is going to be Scream 7 in February. I think we're also going to do The Bride and Project Hail Mary, I think, in the following month after that. But, go to Patreon. You could be a free member. As Mike says, you can be a member you can join the $3 tier. But that you can catch up everything that we're going to do. We put there, obviously, along with everything everywhere else, but we're trying to really pump that up. So head on over to Patreon and become a free member and get in that feed and see what we're doing. And hey, talk to us. Let us know what's going on. What movies do you like? What thoughts did you not agree with on us? We'll talk. We love talking about movies. That's the win. Just a discussion. We don't try to win. No one's right. No one's wrong. Well, I mean, we have fun, but
it's all subjective.
Yeah, absolutely. And so keep it here. Thank you for listening. Sorry we went on so many tangents this episode, but this kind of stuff really gets under our goat, I guess. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema, now showing. Now let's go get that rip, Butler.
Get that rip.
The rip. I really wanted an explanation. Like just somebody to just turn to me and be like, well, why do we call it the rip? Well, back in 1990, we there's something stupid. Just give me something stupid.
I believe there's an IMDb note that says since the mid 90s, it was called ripping because you're ripping off the bad guys. And then it's just been shortened to the rip.
The rip. Give me the rip.